Now, be live. Okay. We got that taken care of. Now, here's my broadcast. Okay. I should be right. I'm live now. Right. Here's my channel content. Here's my broadcast. Public. Everyone can see this. Get shareable link. Thank you very much.
Do you need an napkin?
Yeah, I can. Hold on. Oh, wait a sec. Hold on. Okay. So hold on a sec. I got the shareable link, I think. Let me send it to you in Facebook chat. Okay. All right. There it is. Okay, there that is. Now you go on YouTube, see if you can post that to the page, and we'll take it. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can. Okay, I'll hang up the phone. Yeah, I can hear you, bud. Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. 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 It's great, Emma. Great, Jess. Hey, buddy.
Hi, how are you?
Pissed off.
Yeah. So if you can post on our page, say a flag on the play. Okay. Jesus.
Here's a list of all the people I've defriended so far.
Oh, great. Put that on the show, Seth.
I'll read it.
Go on the page, the Seth and Jack page, and do an update. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can figure it out. Okay. Okay. I'll go back. Okay, Seth and Jack show. Create public post. Create. Okay. Looks like it's going to let me.
Great.
Okay. All right. And I have this up, and let me see. First, I'll post it. Okay, let's see if it posts. Nope. Preview my profile is disabled. This feature is temporarily disabled. Please try again later. But it did post it. And now if I go to it, it's...
Can you, is it on the Seth and Jack page?
Yeah, believe it or not, it's there.
Hang on one sec. Let me get it and I'll put it on my page.
Right. And now actually the show is live now.
Okay.
And so that's that.
Okay. But we should not go live because I think I'm going to have to have something to eat.
Yeah, me too.
Now it's on the Seth and Jack page, huh?
Yep. So what I'll do, Jack.
Wait
I'll
a minute. Hang on, buddy. Hang on.
Yeah.
Cool your jets. No, it's not.
What are they saying?
They don't say anything. It's just I don't see it.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay, so you're going to have to post. Try to post the link, bud, and see what happens.
Okay, well, send it to me.
I did, and it's in chat.
Okay, hang on one sec. You send it as a message?
Yeah, in your Facebook chat.
Okay, hang on. Whoa, where the hell is it? Whoa. Guess what, Bubba?
What?
There it is. There it is. Hang on. Oh, what did you do? Oh, there it is. Great. And it works too, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, wait a sec. Okay. Hang on one sec. I'm putting it on my page. It seems to work.
Okay.
Let me see. Hang on one sec. Okay. Now I'm going to click on it. Okay.
Okay, bud.
Okay. It's a picture view, my broadcast. Yeah, good. Up it came.
Okay.
Hello, hello.
Green.
Big lag.
Okay, hold on. Okay. All right. I've retitled it The Seth and Jack Show.
Okay.
So it's going to show up as that. Now, so we don't lose the link, I'm going to take the video feed of us down, but we'll still stay up. And then we'll do the show at 8 o'clock like we always do, okay?
You got it.
And I'll edit this out, and I'll edit it out in post, Jack.
Everything's good in post. Okay.
Unbelievable.
Okay. I'm going to retire for a little while and then I'll be back.
Okay, bud.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Hi, buddy. Well, it's the only air I have left to direct, buddy.
Oh, Seth.
Jackie boy, what are we going to do here? I'm going to read you the list, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It includes Isaiah.
He wouldn't do that.
I know, but just to be safe, I did every single Republican that was on my friends list.
Yeah, well, he may eventually wonder about that, and I'll let him know if I see it.
Yeah, okay, if he raises it as an issue. But
yeah, I mean,
to be honest, I was going down the list, and there were people that I hadn't engaged with for ever. I mean, it's like, why do you have a Facebook page? Why are we friends?
Jesus. I'm looking at the show, and it seems to be lagging like.
Yeah.
Whoa. Wonder why that is.
I've got a full signal over here and full signal strength on the network. So I think it's because you're going both ways. You have the Be Live app up at the same time as you have the show up. So
yeah.
if you log out of the YouTube page, you won't. I mean, it's like, you're suffering the same lag that the viewers suffer when they comment.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So if you log out of the YouTube page, and you just interact on the Be Live page, I think we'll probably be okay.
Yeah, it seems to be right on sync.
Yeah, but that whole experience of going through the
Yeah,
Going-
traumatic.
Yeah, well, no, I mean going through the list and seeing who was engaging, who wasn't engaging, and
And who else?
why do I have that person here?
Who else did you find?
Oh, just a royal shit ton of people.
Do I know some of them? Or?
Yeah. Gushy,
Mm-hmm.
John Moran.
Yeah.
I had to do Justin Stearns, Gavin Decker Griffith, Curry's little brother,
Yep.
Isaiah. Some guys from the Masons who are just adversarial. Sydney Leach from the dump.
Oh, no, he wouldn't do that to you.
We've been going back and forth, dude. Don't be so sure. He's been giving me the evil eye a little bit.
Really? Because he's the one that gave me that dumb Trump hat.
I know, but it's fairly simplistic. It's like we have people watching, so I'll just save it for later.
Yeah. Are we live yet?
Yeah, we are. We're on right now.
Oh, thank you for.
No, I said that I was going to take down I was going to keep the show live because you already shared the link.
Oh, I got you.
We have the link shared on the Seth and Jack show page. So, yeah, I mean, that guy John Sparrow. I have suspicions that he's like a closet Opus Dei guy.
So we're live now. Do we have any viewers?
Yeah, we do. We had 3. Now we have 1. We're going back and forth. So I guess people will tune in at 8.
Yeah.
Who else do you know? I don't know. Do you know that guy Bill Chapman? Do you know Bill Chapman from Rockport, the select board guy?
No.
Ben Benson.
Yeah.
Linda Bean is no longer friends with me.
Oh, thank God.
And then there's some people that just I never interact with who are just, trolls or who just don't, why am I friends with you if you never interact with me? So I got rid of some of them too, including Martin Cates. I mean, why am I friends with Martin Cates? Dennis Gilroy.
Yeah.
Dennis Gilroy will not be on my friends list from here on out.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah. So I actually, Jack, have the picture that FB found objectionable, and I want to share it with you with their explanation. Okay? So I have it. It's going to be staged. And I'll show it when we get to the show in 4.5 minutes.
Cool.
So you're not going to you've already cannibalized that one. You're not going to cannibalize that one. What is that?
Oh, it's already done.
I can't really see it.
No.
It looks like a wheel of Jarlsberg.
Well, what it is, the wood sometimes is heavy.
Yeah.
And I take off a lot of wood.
Yeah.
To lighten it.
Does the pickup have any more richness or tonal qualities to it because of that?
I can't tell. With given the electronics now in these guitars, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Of course, the wood vibrates, but with all the electronics, it's impossible. Yeah. So I'll just go for the weight, and I've indexed the neck.
Oh, nice.
So that I can
see where you are.
It's important if you want to play fast. So if you're going to go from here and go sliding up the neck to find that, you see it from the top.
Yeah.
You feel exactly where it is. You don't have to look at the fretboard. You just it's great for going back and forth down the neck.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
It is good. And then I started doing something. It's a little hard to see. I've taken the neck and I've filed down a groove, and I'm doing it with every guitar here, a groove. So when you go really high, your thumb can sit so you can work in a high A blues, which is here,
Yeah.
up here. Okay.
Yep.
So your thumb naturally can go farther. So when you slide up there, your thumb can go a half an inch more or an inch more, which makes it much easier to play. I tried on one guitar and I liked it. So now today I did 4 more. Because I've got 12 of them that I play.
Yeah, I know.
So and it's just slowly the improvements that I do. I always look at things and say, what would work better? You know what I mean?
I kind of wonder, I understand the tonal differences between the different Fender models. Like the Les Paul, right?
Right.
That classic 1950s, Les Paul and Mary Ford, How High the Moon, I could listen to that forever and ever and ever.
Well, the thing about the Les Paul, anyone who plays different guitars will tell you it's got a warmer tone.
Yeah.
The Telecaster was the classic raw country rock blues guitar.
Yeah.
And then the Stratocaster, because it has 3 pickups instead of 2, then you can blend it more, and that's got sort of a rock sound. But with all the electronics people are running through, you can't tell the difference.
Right.
Maybe a Les Paul. It's just got that sound. It has to do with that it's got double humbuckers on it, or 2 or 3 humbuckers,
Yeah.
whereas these have straight single coil pickups. And so this is a harder sound, this guitar.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you'll see half the great blues players play tellies.
Well, buddy, we are now officially live and on the air. I've got a video I'd like to start the show with, and I hope you like it. It is. I'll take us down so we can play it, and just start the show this way. This is my favorite. Check this out.
And they overlaid the image with pure gold. And Aaron fashioned it and smoothed it with the hammer, ready to be graven by cunning art and man's device. And the people sinned a great sin, for they had made them a god of gold. And they bore him upon their shoulders and rejoiced, saying, This be our God, O Israel.
This be our God, O Israel.
I tell you, if there was anything to take away in the last month that is super iconic of where the fuck we are, that is the piece of video.
Terrifying, man.
Look at the taste it's done with.
Yeah.
I mean, these people make the Russians look like industrial designers.
True. You know what? If there was any commonality between nightclub aesthetic, I would say Branson, Missouri is to America as Rasputin in Brighton Beach nightclub is to Russia. I don't know if you ever got a chance to. There was I can't imagine a place that was more overtly Russian mob, over the top. if there's a top, it's over the top.
Mm-hmm.
It was garish, awful, just bright lights and glitz and just bottles of vodka on top of bottles of vodka on top of Jack. It's right across the street. I mean, they had the perfect setup. It's right across frickin' Coney Island Avenue from a place called Sahara.
That sounds like it's got.
Stay with me on this.
Okay.
You get out of Rasputin at 4:00 in the morning. Okay, you're a Russian mobster. You're a few pounds overweight to begin with. You get out of Rasputin on Coney Island Avenue and Avenue X or Y or Z. It's all the way at the end of Coney Island Avenue. You can almost hear the waves from Brighton Beach and Coney Island hitting the shore. And it's essentially a full block, a full city block nightclub of just this. There's no windows. It's a cement facade, a square cement building
Mm-hmm.
with a giant Rasputin written on the side of it. And it's across the street from a place called Sahara, which was actually a Turkish place where you could get shawarma. But it too was a huge storefront. And you could get like any kind of gyro or it was basically delicious barbecued meat and homemade bread. What a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
What a lifestyle these Russians had.
Well, apparently, from my Czech Republic contacts, money leaving Russia has taken over Prague. And the taste level
I'd heard that,
of what was once a very beautiful city, particularly when it comes to interiors, has just disintegrated into the most base, gaudy, but they'd have to work to beat that statue. That looks like something out of a cartoon.
Buddy, it didn't take long for the Russians to wear out their aesthetic welcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what I want to show you also, as the statue is going by, it was hard to miss this one.
Oh my God.
Okay, so here she is. And look at the dazed look of stupidity. The absent eyes, just emerging from the Xanax haze of dealing with the guy behind her with the bad blue shirt who never understood about why we wear a button-down shirt as opposed to and I've done it too, but Jesus, get a collar stay, do something, dude.
Look at the whole mask protocol. That tells you everything about these people.
That's where I was going, buddy. Look at the mask around the chin. The mask around the chin is the fuck you in public of these people. It's always, and that's really the theme of this show, is what has happened to the Republican Party. They have become troll publicans.
Mm-hmm.
They don't govern anymore. They stopped governing.
Well, let me use that analogy when we talk today, Seth. You get in a fight with the bullies lose. What do the bullies do? They stand 10 yards away, so they're outside striking distance, and then they sit there and troll you.
All day.
They scream insults. They scream everything about your mother or your heritage or the fact that you're not as white, whatever the fuck it is they do. This is the mentality of the loser.
It's incredible, dude. It's really incredible.
So you had a recent run-in with someone, I heard.
Yeah, I guess which one? Because one of them was silent, right?
I was thinking of our Facebook.
Yeah. So I had a and God bless this one here and her face maskless boyfriend over here. I'm going to take them down And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the post in question. Facebook has officially sanctioned me for this. And what I'm going to do is I'll show it full screen so everybody can appreciate this. Just take a look at this. This is Donald Trump holding up a Bible and Adolf Hitler holding up a Bible. A post meant to discuss or show the similarities in how a demagogue misrepresents themselves in the public space. It's pretty obvious what's going on with this. Okay. So on the bottom is a PolitiFact reference, and it says false. This photo of Adolf Hitler is doctored. And then it talks about the event itself. Anybody that posted this picture, which, okay, let's be absolutely straight here, Jack. This picture and what Facebook is saying about it is essentially Facebook coming to the defense of Adolf Hitler being misrepresented.
Yes and no, Seth. Facebook's motivation here is to try to get a jump on this criticism from the right wing that they've been suffering forever.
Right.
But the thing is, it wasn't Facebook that did it. Okay. This is one of your right wing friends.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I know. I saw you had a list.
Here we go. Here's a list of people that are no longer right-wing friends of mine. I went through and culled them this afternoon. And it's a shame. It's like we can't be friends with, we can no longer be friends with people who we don't agree with.
Yeah, that's right. And I have 2,000 friends, but I always vet them. Okay, I look through their posts. I make sure there's nothing that could be pro-Trump or pro-religious, because that is, for me, that is grounds for not friending them.
Yeah, clearly, yeah.
But out of 2,000, I'm sure there are many who have unfollowed me or, whatever. But yes, you have to vet your friends very carefully.
Man.
And if there are no mutual friends, I never take the request. Number one. Yeah. And then I look at who the mutual friends are. And if they're people that I like and respect, then the chances are that I'll accept the request.
Well, I gotta say, you were right. You and I had this conversation about a year ago, and you said, dude, you can't do it. You can't be friends with these people. It's not the kind of thing where you're able to, you're not able to engage with these people fruitfully. They're gonna, they're not going to be people that you're going to have any kind of relationship with. Why are you friends with these people? You should not be friends with these people. Get them off your friends list. And at the time I said, no, Jack, I'm going to use these people as an experiment. I'm going to try and figure out what's going on in their brains. They wouldn't do anything bad. Well, apparently not so much, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it was just a question of time, Seth.
It really was, buddy.
It's unfortunate.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I did the purge. I decided I was gonna, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send Big Pete the link for the show. I love it when Big Pete comments on the show.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that that somebody decided that they were going to report a picture, because I posted that picture months and months and months ago, and I didn't have it was January, or it was, that was buried in my timeline. So somebody had to go do a search in my timeline looking for something to report. And I mean, when you take this and when you combine it with the racist garbage that's been thrown on my front lawn as a result of my Black Lives Matter signs, you know, it's kind of hard to be out front as an SJW. And I don't mean single Jewish woman. I mean social justice warrior. You know? So
Yeah.
Suki has asked to join the page. Our friend Suki Love, the beautiful Suki Love. She is now a member.
Isn't she adorable?
Oh, she's the best. She's the best. And so that's you know, kind of why my account is now restricted on Facebook for 30 days, because I have you know, because I posted something that Facebook wants to mollify the right with. I don't think a picture of Adolf Hitler side by side with Donald Trump is grounds. I mean, what kind of fucking snowflakes are going to have a problem with that?
Oh, they're not. And keep in mind, there's no algorithm that can successfully analyze the content of a picture yet.
No.
So it was definitely somebody, and it could have been a religious person, Seth.
It could have been. It could have been. I mean, but you know, you can say that out of one side of your mouth as a conservative, and then on the other side of your mouth, we're kind of starting to ask, what do you stand for politically? What is it? What are your policy objectives? What is it that you're doing governmentally? How do you represent your people in the public space? How about this guy right here, Jack? How about this guy?
I love him.
I mean,
I love him.
He goes on Laura Ingraham, and what he says, I'm not sure if you can read that, buddy.
I can't.
Stephen Miller accuses Biden of cruel and inhumane immigration policies. Okay. That is not what it appears to be on its face, which is a policy disagreement. Trolling.
You know, it's interesting because the Republican Party is the party of projection.
Yeah.
Just like Trump was.
Yeah.
They all ascribe to projection. Whatever you do wrong, accuse the other person.
Yeah.
Now that originally came from Roy Cohen, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it's now, but the playbook is so transparent now. I mean, the playbook is so transparent that there's really nothing left. And I'll tell you who else is trolling us. I figured it out. The Russians are trolling us. There you go. Does that look familiar? Let's play fun with shapes today.
Fun with shapes. Yep.
Let's play fun with shapes. But do these things look like each other at all?
So now, has QPAC started? Is it going to be tomorrow?
Yeah.
I mean, CPAC.
QPAC. Nobody. QPAC hasn't started yet. I don't know if CPAC has started yet either. What a collection. I mean, what a fucking collection. But seriously, doesn't that, I mean, if you were trying to figure out where is QAnon originating? Come on. It's St. Petersburg, man.
Yep.
It's St. Petersburg. Yep. I mean, and the more about Donald Trump's finances coming out, the more people are going to have to get to the understanding that we've had a 40-year fucking history of taking Russian money.
Yep.
And
yep.
Dude, Cy Vance got a million documents or millions of documents like Wednesday.
So this has some serious legs now, doesn't it?
Wow. And, you know, we were talking, I think, on Monday or Tuesday, and we said that the only reason that Donald Trump hasn't fled the country or didn't this ham-handed coup attempt, which was so backwards, is that he doesn't think strategically. He only thinks transactionally, and that's how he allowed himself to get in this pickle. Because I have a business problem. Oh, let's launder more money with Russia. Okay, call Vlad and see if we can sell another apartment.
So
that's it.
Steve Mnuchin.
What a great
Seth.
man! What a professional! And doesn't one follow the other?
Amazing character.
I've never.
The blatancy of this move, and tell everybody what that is, Seth, in case they're not aware of it.
Well, as the walls of Trumpistan were crumbling down, Steve Mnuchin was on a little bit of a world tour. And I'm not sure if anybody watched Rachel when she covered this, but Steve Mnuchin was doing a tour of the Middle East, and he was touring the Middle Eastern countries that had he just went down the list of the largest sovereign wealth funds in the Middle East. And while he was still an office holder, still a member of the cabinet, he was going around the Middle East presumably soliciting funds for a fund that he was going to run after he gets out of the Trump administration. Presumably altering U.S. foreign policy or fiscal policy to favor them in exchange for this stuff. So now we find out that Steve Mnuchin, whose last name is like, they went out of their way to find ugly people for this administration. It's kind of like if you didn't understand that these people were the spawn of Satan already, just look at their faces and look at Steve Mnuchin's ghastly dyed black hair and his pasty face with his stupid Coke bottle glasses. Asshole.
So Seth, describe to our viewers what the quid pro quo of this while he was with the Trump administration is with the Saudis.
Well, it was, you can presume that the Trump administration and the Saudi surrogates within Jared Kushner and Steve Mnuchin were behind the policy of not releasing the anyway, whatever this fucking psychopathic killer's name is, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia was responsible for the murder of Khashoggi. And there was a U.S. intelligence report that said that.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. intelligence report was squashed by the Trump administration until now. The Biden administration has just released it. So Steve Mnuchin goes to Saudi Arabia and manages to weasel some money out of these people for his sovereign wealth fund management, Middle East hedge fund insanity that he's trying to put together in exchange for leaning on Trump to do some deals. I guess everything's like a negotiated deal, but you can't. Trump has no more leverage and can't negotiate his way out of Cyrus Vance. It's not going to happen. By the way, did you happen to hear that Cy Vance is poking around Steve Bannon's business now?
I did.
What do you think about that?
I did. I think it's wonderful because there's no double jeopardy if a state goes after a formal federal prosecution, right?
No. No. So, just, it seems like we're paying too much attention to recovering from the Trump administration, and we're not paying enough attention to loving ourselves and enjoying what we're being fed.
Yes.
Because if you wanted to get even with these pieces of shit, how much more could you possibly ask for than what's about ready to hit?
Yeah, it depends how many people are involved and how big they can make this prosecution. So the idea of Steve Bannon being part of it is wonderful, because you're going to involve witnesses in front of the grand jury without their lawyers, because that's the way grand juries work. It's gonna be fast. I just hope that it, and I think that it will involve all Trump's progeny, right?
And actually, Don Jr. appeared before a grand jury recently, and appeared in an interview with the New York prosecution, and gave.
I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, he gave some stuff up. They're now looking into other stuff. So Don.
Oh,
Jr.,
do you? How do you know that?
I'm not, because it leaked out, and Don Jr. is like, I'm not going to get busted on a perjury charge. Screw you.
And Eric had been in the week before.
Yep.
That must have been funny.
Well, can he string a sentence together? He's got that wife, Laura. I mean, she's got eyeballs going different directions.
You mean she's a slut?
No. No, but if she told you to pick something up, like 3 or 4 people would bend over.
Oh, I'm going to tell a joke.
Okay.
Before we lose our audience.
Who cares?
Who gives a shit?
It's a Friday night, bro.
Yeah, the Trump. Yeah, what the fuck else are you going to do?
Who the fuck cares?
The Trump family, the whole family shows up in front of St. Peter at the Golden Gates. And St. Peter says, I recognize you're the Trump family. You're not on the list. Let me call God. He calls God. He says, God, I got a problem. God said, I'm so busy, man. What is it? He says, I've got the whole Trump family here in front of me. What happened? I don't fucking know. Could have been a plane crash, a strip club could have burned down, but the whole fucking family is here, and I don't know what to do with them. They're not on the list. God says, give me at least 10 minutes. I'm trying to finish something up here. 10 minutes goes by, 12 minutes goes by, and finally God gets a call from St. Peter. He says, okay, what is it, St. Peter? He says, they're gone. He says, the Trump family? He says, no, the pearly gates.
Yes. Hey, speaking of white terrorists and,
yes.
and thieves, did you hear that the DOJ is looking to get a foothold with more domestic terror powers?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so that kind of goes hand in hand with the DC Metro Police Chief's testimony that white supremacists are planning on blowing up the U.S. Capitol. I mean, it's like, you're not Guy Fawkes. You're loser guy, not Guy Fawkes.
Yeah. Yes.
You're loser guy. It's funny, and I kind of like, people think, who are these entities on the other side of the political spectrum? There's no more other side of the political spectrum. It is everybody who knows how to string a sentence together, and then the Nazi meat cutter at Hannaford's in Calais. Because that's who these people are. The mayor of Waterville. The mayor of Waterville. Nazi fuck.
Right.
White supremacist, Nazi fuck. Get out. Get out.
Yep.
Who's going to vote for these people? Nobody.
Well, they're still out there, Seth.
Where's their majority? Where's their electoral majority? What's happened? I bet if you looked at the, we don't do polling anymore, Jack, because there's really nothing to poll about. We've got approval ratings, but there's no, would you reelect Marjorie Taylor Greene for a Senate spot? No.
Well, polling's interesting because, in the last couple of elections, the only people they can really reach are those without cell phones. And that voting block.
I know. I know. I want to thank Ava Lebowitz, who says she really enjoys Seth and Jack. We appreciate that, Ava.
Oh, great. She's a friend of yours?
Yes.
From where? From Brooklyn?
From Brooklyn Friends School. She's fantastic. She really is. So, Jack, what else is going on in your life? Is there anything going on guitar-wise? You have any new projects going on?
Not really. What I've realized on my guitars is that if you shave the neck up here where your thumb comes up,
yeah,
you can play much easier on the high frets.
Let me ask you a question. Do you run the risk of warping the neck because of the tension on the strings if you shave it down at all?
Very little. You look at it as like a mechanical engineer, and you say the only reason they're made the way they are is because it's sort of a standard thing.
Yeah.
But you can do amazing modifications, and even if it warps a little, I can correct it.
Yeah.
But so I can get into, no, it really doesn't at all. And, because you figure out after a while how it's based, what causes the neck to do this and that. And the other thing, this is like, it takes cement 50 years to cure, right?
Yeah.
So most buildings are still not cured. And it takes a guitar neck probably at least years to cure.
Really?
So oh yeah. So to dry, for the wood to really dry.
Well, what is it? Ash? Is it oak? What is it?
Yeah, it can be ash or maple. It can be a number of things. Rosewood. I have one that has a rosewood neck. But the thing about the neck is that, they'll kill and dry it, but it'll never, like cement, it'll never really dry for years. And so you'll find that every week or two, you want to go back, tweak it a little bit, which I do because I like guitars that play well. I like low action. So it's a little tweaking.
Yeah.
But, did you see, speaking of things nobody's interested in, did you see that Maggie called the America's Cup boats the stupid boats?
That is the throwing down of a gauntlet from Maggie.
It is.
Boy,
because I love those things.
Oh, she never gets that angry. The stupid boats.
No, she wasn't angry. She just thinks they look stupid. If you don't love the sound of the foils grinding and the Kevlar and the carbon fiber creaking, you're going to think they look stupid. And the fact they go 40 or 50 knots.
It's ridiculous, dude. Those boats are ridiculously fast.
Yeah. So the Italians beat the English, and now they're going up against New Zealand. New Zealand has always been a handful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's going to start soon.
Is Team America involved in this anymore?
No, they got taken out early because that crash they had, they could never, when they flipped it over,
yeah,
it did so much damage that all their practice time and stuff, I think, went to repairing the hull.
Duct tape.
That cost them the competition.
Duct tape. What?
The New York Yacht Club. Are you a member of the New York Yacht Club?
No, I let it lapse, Jack.
Oh, you did?
I stole an ashtray. It was a big deal.
I know. I was kicked out of the New York Social Register because my parents didn't pay the dues.
That's the best thing ever.
I love it.
Did you know that Jackie Gleason, I forget who it was with, Jackie Gleason was drunk at Toot Shore one night. And you remember where Toot Shore was in Times Square. And it was sitting with a younger man. He says, "I'm very fast. I could beat you in a foot race around the block." Jackie Gleason was about 380 pounds at the time. Guy says, sure. The guy takes off. Jackie Gleason smokes, hails a cab, tells the guy to go around the block. You know, it's 2:00 in the morning. Of course, he's going to go around the block, no problem. And he beats the guy back there. Jackie Gleason, toots short. Anyway, that's a New York story, just like you get going around the New York Social Register.
Mine was better.
Yeah, of course it was.
But if you're talking about that kind of competition, don't ever forget Milton Berle at the country club. Do you want to tell that, Seth?
No, but the only story I know about Milton Berle is how impressive he was. God bless Milton Berle with the Berle package, the legendary Berle Schwanz, rivaled only by Forrest Tucker in Hollywood.
Right. And certain horses.
And certain.
So he's at this country club, and everybody at the country club knows. And some guy they're talking about, you know, how guys in the locker room, like Trump, you know, he was locker room in the bus, right? So they're talking about Milty and how he's hung. Some guy says, "Oh no, nobody will beat me," and everything. So they started this competition. I mean, there were 50 guys all willing to bet on Uncle Milty, as Howard Stern calls Uncle Milty.
Uncle Milty.
And so, yeah. So the guy whips it out, and he's pretty well endowed. And somebody shouts from the back, "Milty, just show him enough to win."
Yeah.
That was one of Howard Stern's favorite stories.
That's hysterical. You know, Richard Pryor did a routine. And you can't, you know, as a white person, you can't really say this routine without sounding like a racist. But it was on one of the early albums. And he said there was a competition between the two guys in San Francisco with the biggest dick. And they were trying to find a place to, you know, whip it out and have a competition. But everything was too public. So they start walking across the Golden Gate Bridge. And one guy said, "Man, I got to take a leak." And the other guy says, "Yeah, me too." So they both start taking a leak off the side of the Golden Gate Bridge. And one guy looks at it and says, "Man, this water's cold." The other guy said, "Yeah, and it's deep too."
Yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic.
Too.
So,
I had a fantastic week. My first week in production for Main Business Advisors, which was, I tell you, man, just a tremendous amount of economic energy moving in this state right now. And, you know, I'm kind of at the crossroads of disruption and urgency, you know, so I'm really in a great spot. I mean, I've been on the phone all week long putting deals together. And I just started. It's ridiculous. And then the phone rings this morning, and who is it but my dear friend Kay Aiken from Introspective Systems. And she says, "Hey, I have a need for your services, you and your partner, Rob. So we are going to be doing a series of not town halls, kind of small whiteboard sessions on the internet with people from Boston, about how to prepare Boston for a microgrid infrastructure. What are some of the things that they can design for to be prepared for a microgrid infrastructure?" So, you know, my week was just like, I'm really grateful to have this, you know, have this decompression with you, because Jesus, what a week. Really great. I got meetings kind of stacked up all next week as well. So I'm pretty happy, but kind of.
I got vaccinated yesterday, got my first shot.
I know. And by the way, that was not shitty material that I posted on your wall. That was hysterical stuff, by the way.
What are you talking about?
I posted, you took a picture of yourself.
Oh, yes, yes.
That was
You
pretty
know,
stuff.
first of all, hats off to Janet Mills and everybody else. I went up to Belfast to the old MB&A building, and I've got to tell you, Seth, you talk about organization and efficiency. No line. There were 50 people working there, all really nice, a lot of older volunteers, and they ran you through this like it was, I mean, it was totally, totally smart. Everything they did. The federal government could learn something about this.
Yep.
Houston Electric. Did you see some of those poor people got bills for $19,000 for the month?
Okay.
What?
So that's not governance,
No.
right? That's so you have the fucking example of there is no GOP governance. When there is GOP governance, that's what it looks like. That's what ultimate deregulation means for ratepayers.
Yep.
No, we don't want energy. We don't want energy regulation in our state. No, we want to secede. Texas wants to secede. Yeah, okay, go ahead and secede.
Yep.
Free. Oh, really? Now you'd like Biden to show up and offer some aid, some federal aid for your disaster that more petroleum companies are contributing to?
They are a classic in hypocrisy and stupidity. Look at the people they elect, right? You know, flying Ted Cruz. I mean, it is, we don't need, this country does not need to carry this kind of baggage.
No, it really doesn't.
If we could cut off all those states and it would lighten our load from welfare to politically to so many different things.
Yep.
Now, particularly since fossil fuels are on the way out, we should just let Texas float off.
We carry those people anyway. We're carrying these people. We're not engaging with these people. We're constantly fighting these people to be able to survive as a nation. And now we're literally fighting them at the steps and in the halls of our own capital. How many different ways do we have to be told that these people are the enemy of liberal democracy? They are, and they're perfectly happy to admit it. So maybe the only thing we can do to solve this problem is let them fucking go. Get the fuck out. We are tired of you. We are fucking tired of you. Self-regulate. We'll pay you to go away. I'll give up all of my stimulus money if I can put these fucking losers in a Mayflower van and ship them the fuck away to Texas. Let Texas deal with these fucking assholes.
I know. How do you really feel, Seth?
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them is how I feel.
Yeah, I know.
Can that be argued anymore, bro?
Did you see the face on that fucking ex-New York cop that was busted? He was the guy who gouged the eye out of the cop at the Capitol.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Did you see his face?
No.
This guy looks like every dirtbag shithead in every group you've ever met, riding a motorcycle. Whether you're at the Toboggan Nationals, there's always one guy standing next to a tree and his friends say, oh yeah, he looks, but he's really a nice guy if you get to know him.
Right.
One of those guys. And you just look at this fucker's face and you want to put a bullet in him, Seth. I
thought that after the election, Jack, that we would want to kill these people less.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
This is not good.
You heard it here first, everybody.
Everybody, the one listener we have, this is
Yes.
not good, bro. This is not
Yeah.
good. What's happening in our culture is a fucking catastrophe. It's a catastrophic event. We are being cleaved from each other, and our technology is doing it to us. I can't
Yep.
even post a picture comparing one demagogue to another without being sanctioned on the technology.
That is, let me see if I can bring up this guy's picture, because you're going to love this face.
Yeah.
This is the face of every scumbag you've ever known in your life. Let me try this. I'll have to zoom
I have
in.
your screen share, but there's nothing up yet.
Oh, there isn't.
No. I can't see it.
Oh, then I'm using this.
All right. Well, I'll hide it until it comes up, man.
Can you see it yet?
No, share it.
Still
Share
not.
it again and see if that. I took it out, send it back, share it again, and see if I can pick it up this time.
Okay.
Still blank, buddy. Yeah, sorry about that.
Still nothing.
Still nothing.
Here's the
I
problem.
lost it.
Here's the problem, Seth. I've got this,
New screen.
and I want to tune everybody. Just give everybody a piece of information. I bought one of these Samsung 50-inch monitors, curve monitor.
Look at you go.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it took me days to get it to work with a Mac. And I finally had to upgrade my Mac. And because I have this huge monitor, all I needed was a Mac Mini. So I bought a Mac Mini for $900. Okay. But what it had, and if you ever think of buying one of these screens, you've got to have a Thunderbolt cable. A Thunderbolt cable is a USB-C cable for high-speed data. And there are USB-C cables that are not that fast. And then there are USB original, which aren't that fast. But it's got to be a Thunderbolt cable. It costs a little more, but it has a huge bandwidth. And as soon as you plug one of these in, you'll get the whole screen.
Yeah.
So now I'm sitting here with 50 inches of real estate in front of me. How cool is that?
Which is sweet. Speaking of technology from overseas, interesting. One of the things I want to talk about next week, separate issue. China, the Trump administration was enacting a policy not to sanction, but to there was a Trump administration rule on technology purchases that was meant to impose restrictions on China's technology threats to us. And sure enough, the Biden administration was like, yeah, those fuckers are fucking with us. We got to stop it.
Well, it was a specific chip, wasn't it, for a cell phone?
Yeah, but it goes beyond.
Or sorry, for 5G network.
Right, but it's a sweeping class of technology, not just so. The good news is at least we're fighting back against the restrictions. I have to say, Jack, that the most interesting thing for me this week has been the convergence of opposing viewpoints. The one issue that brings radical feminists and Christian conservatives together.
Oh my God.
Next week, we'll talk about the uniting of radical feminists and Christian conservatives.
Well, tell me now, because I'm really curious.
Should trans athletes be allowed to compete? The answer is no. They should not be allowed to compete because what they're doing is they are stealing accomplishments from cis female competitors. But this pits liberal feminists who are supportive of trans rights movements against radical feminists who are aligned with Christian conservatives.
Interesting.
And interestingly, unfortunately, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and they will use these Nazis, these white supremacists who happen to overlap in this extreme cultural conservatism. They will use this as a weapon. Mark my words. If they're smart enough to figure out how to use it as a wedge, trust me when I tell you, it's going to be a wedge. But, but they've got nothing. They've been doing nothing policy-wise other than the obstruction they can't do anymore. It's amazing that the GOP is kind of just withering away. They're doing what losers do, troll. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I challenge any Republican to come on this program and tell us what the GOP stands for. It stands for supporting Donald Trump for some reason and trolling.
And the evidence of this is when they were looking at the transition from the Trump White House to the Biden White House, that they couldn't establish a transition because there was nothing there.
Nothing to trans.
It's like COVID. It had to start from ground zero because there was nothing to transition from.
I think
because they had done nothing.
And I think there were a number of reasons why they had done nothing. They had done nothing because they were afraid to do their jobs, and they were afraid not to do their jobs. They existed in a state of paralysis. That's why Biden's numbers are like 70% approval rating.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
It's great. The guy's just doing his job.
Now, the Senate Republicans don't want to pass the COVID bill. 100%. Okay. It's an incredibly popular bill with people.
75% of the American public.
Right. And the Republicans don't want to pass it.
Fabulous.
What does that make them look like?
It makes them look here's where we are. We have the Republicans in a corner, and we can't let them out. We have to keep hitting them until they're unconscious. Because if we let them out of this corner, terrible things will happen to the country. The Republican Party is dying the death that it needs to die for America to continue. That's the long and short of it. It doesn't get much more complex than that. This party is an anti-American party that is not governing. They have no idea how to run the country. All they have is their culture war, and that's not policy. That's not governance. What that is the catastrophic end of American culture. Period.
So there are people on Facebook that are still afraid that Trump will reemerge as president in 2024. Talk to me.
No chance. He's not even going to be president of Cell Block H.
That's one thing. The other thing, do you think that he can survive 4 more years on a diet of aggravation, disappointment, anger, well-done steak, French fries, burgers, and dessert?
Nice job, by the way, remembering how he likes his steak. Good job. And Diet
Thank
Coke.
you.
And Diet Coke.
Yeah. And Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Do you think his body can survive 4 more years of that?
No, not only do I not think his body can survive that, he absolutely, positively is going to New York State prison. There's no way around it. He has broken the law for decades. And the charges that are going to continue after after this, after he goes to jail, the Russian connections are going to emerge the same way. There's Jack, he's going to jail for the stuff that we know about. We don't even know what we don't know yet. He's going away for the rest of his life. And if his kids get out from underneath it, they're lucky. I'm telling you, this guy's going down. He's going to jail. 2024 is when he'll be in jail for a year by 2024.
You saw that John Gotti's brother just died.
Yeah, and by the way, credit to you where credit is due. Yes, really? Credit to you where credit is due. You called it. The guy that they hired is a phenomenal defense and prosecutor of white-collar crime. He's a defense lawyer and a prosecutor.
Yes.
He's a double threat. He is the guy that will fuck you up.
Yeah.
He will fuck you up. And he just got done talking to his new best buddy, Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen.
Yeah. This guy is no laughing matter for the Trumpers. I got to tell you.
Dude.
This is... Why do you get hired? You have a very successful private practice defending scumbags. And you turn and you say, I'm going to take a 6-month hiatus. We're going to all put all my clients on hold. We'll give them to other lawyers. And I'm going to work probably as a G11, pay grade for the New York State Attorney's Office. Why would you do that?
No, he's working for Cy Vance now.
Yeah, okay.
New York City. So Letitia James has state charges which are civil. So Cy Vance is going to criminally prosecute Donald Trump, and Letitia James is going to take all of his money. and
I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
Here's a problem. Here's a problem. It's like all the problems that we don't talk about. Like all the problems that we don't talk about. Here's a problem. Let's say you're that straight-haired blonde skank, Ivanka. Let's say you're that skinny little bitch with the fake boobs, Ivanka. Okay?
And the nose job.
And the nose job. And the spindly satanic husband. Right? The one that befriends every criminal on the planet that can line his pockets. Congratulations. Honey, you found him. You found the perfect man, sweetie. You did it. Congratulations. I hope you're happy together. Let's say you're this chick, right? And you grew up the beneficiary of grift every day. She's the beneficiary of grift. Grift is what she thinks life should be. Grift is how to get ahead. Don't think for a second that Don Jr., Eric, and Ivanka and Tiffany don't have this entitled attitude where, of course, we can grift. Everything from the artwork on the wall that they never reported to the actual cash that they never reported, that's their way of life. So, of course, when the inaugural committee, 501c3 organization, pays her money for a job she didn't do, that's a violation of the U.S. tax code. She received monies that she wasn't due. And there was, all sorts of economic reporting malfeasance as a result of that. This chick is going away. Don Jr. He's a recipient of grift, of graft and corruption as well. All these people are going, dude. It's not
orange. Orange is the new black, Seth.
but it's almost impossible for us being conditioned within the American political structure to conceive of this. Like Cy Vance is doing his job, and Letitia James is doing her job, and Merrick Garland is going to do his job, and those jobs that they're compelled by the Constitution to do are going to result in something.
And don't forget, Seth, don't forget our friends in Georgia.
Oh, right. I'm sorry, I almost forgot about our friends in Jack, they're going to jail. And this doesn't even take into consideration any potential federal charges.
Yep.
I mean, it's ridiculous. So, late in the evening, next week, I just wanted to say, Jack, I would love nothing more than to talk about the catfight between radical feminists, liberal feminists, and the extreme conservative right, Christian right. And I asked, I have a Facebook friend. She lives in Rockland. Her name is Dozier Bell. Okay. She hosts this. She's all over this topic. It's fascinating. She's the only friend I have that's talking about it. She's going nuts about how trans people shouldn't have equal rights in certain cases. They should not. They're not women. They're men. They're physically men. It doesn't matter how many drugs they take to try to make themselves women. They're men. I'm sorry. And you're stealing the accomplishments of women. It's not fair. You shouldn't have those rights. That's her position as a former radical feminist. She posts a conversation topic about this. Jack, 1,100 comments.
Oh, shit.
No shit.
We can't even get 5 viewers, Seth.
I'm telling you. So I tell Dozier, I'm like, Dozier, come on the show, please. Talk about this. I got to talk to you about this. It's crazy. She says, no, I don't want to do that.
Well, I agree with her.
It's frustrating,
Yeah, I agree with her. I do. I think when it comes to athletics, it's an unfair advantage. And, we could, yeah. And we could, oh, by the way, Seth and I, for all those out there, we have a mutual friend named Kay Stevens, who is a true rock star.
Love her.
And she writes for The Village Soup. She's a phenomenal writer. I've mentioned her before. She wrote a book. Her first book was called The Ghost Trap. Fabulous book about a lobsterman and his family. And her second book, I don't know the title. I haven't read it yet. And she and Seth got into it on some thread in a very, very funny way. And if she's watching, which I'm sure she's not, she is an absolute rock star.
Well, just because she called me a scamp.
Yeah, which I didn't have an issue with.
Of course not. You started out this thread by saying, "Oh, and by the way, fuck yourself, Seth." I was like, "Yeah, okay, great."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But anyway, she is.
You see my Rickles?
No.
I posted a Don Rickles gif. Thank you.
Oh, you did? Yes. Oh, great.
Yeah.
So, Seth, one day, for all of those who don't live in Midcoast, Maine, we've had a very, very mild winter, and now we're starting to see days in the 40s. And within a month or two, Seth and I are going to broadcast from the bench in the middle of town.
Wonderful.
So we're going to be able to stop people and talk to them and ask them how their COVID experiences have been, how they voted.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
We got to do a remote where we have like 2 tripods set up, right? And we'll have a Jack cam and a Seth cam, right? Just like this. We'll broadcast on Be Live, and we'll be on the bench, using the software that we use now to broadcast on Facebook,
Right.
and then we'll just have microphones and we'll be interviewing people on the street. That'll be fun. Or we could do it. Don't you think Boynton would be fun?
Boynton would be phenomenal.
Yeah, I want that. I like that idea. All right, so let's wrap up. Let's wrap up tonight's show, and then next week, if I can con Dozier Bell into talking with us on the air, that's going to be fabulous. There's nothing that would delight me more than setting radical feminists against liberal feminists on the same program and just watching them go at it.
We should invite Kay also because she's a rock star.
Well, she's a scamp.
Is that the male version of skank?
No, I don't know. It's meant childlike.
It's
childlike.
It sounds like.
Yeah.
I think she called you a skank.
Scamp.
Yeah, but I think that's the male version of skank.
No, scamp is childlike and mischievous.
Oh, is that what it
It
is?
is, yes. At least
We'll have to ask her.
Says.
She may have injected it into some other kind of meaning into that too, Seth.
Well,
I don't
as
know.
much as you wish that she had, she didn't.
Well, anyway, great to talk to who's ever out there.
You too.
We thought poor Seth would be a 1 month prisoner in Facebook jail with absolutely no rights.
It's not that.
And it turns out,
buddy.
What have they taken away from you, Seth?
Ability to live stream for some reason. I mean, it's this whole thing smells to high heaven. It is absolutely unjust. It is absolutely capricious and uneven. And this will not stand, Jack. I'm going to take a complaint to the complaints department.
Well, great, Seth. I'm proud of you. Don't let them push you around.
All right, bud. Thank you so much.
Good to see you. Bye, everybody.
Next week. Bye, everybody.